So today, we're diving into a fascinating topic, pacifying behavior. You might have heard this term before, but what does it really mean? In this video, we will break it down for you. Pacifying behavior refers to a range of repetitive actions or gestures, like for example nail biting, that individuals exhibit when they feel stressed, anxious, or uncomfortable, mostly in social situations. These behaviors are often subconscious and serve as a way to soothe oneself in challenging situations. Think of it as a self-soothing mechanism. It's important to note that these behaviors can vary widely from person to person, which is why it's crucial to don't make hasty conclusions. Cultural background, personal experiences, and even individual temperament can influence how someone reacts in stressful situations. For instance, while one person might tap their foot nervously, another might find comfort in hugging themselves. It's also important to note that for some individuals, pacifying behaviors can become ingrained habits over time. They might not even realize they're doing it. This can be particularly true for behaviors like nail biting or hair twirling, which can start as a response to stress, but eventually become a routine part of their behavior. These habits can be hard to break, especially if they've been reinforced over many years. It's essential to keep this in mind while trying to deduce if someone is stressed or not. But how can we use this knowledge in our daily lives? Well, there is a range of benefits that comes from better understanding pacifying behaviors. When you understand pacifying behaviors, you can better interpret the emotions of those around you. For instance, if someone is fidgeting during a conversation, they might be feeling anxious. By recognizing this, you can adjust your approach, maybe by offering reassurance or changing the topic to something more comfortable. Learning about these behaviors can deepen your empathy. When you see someone engaging in a pacifying behavior, it's a cue that they might need support. This awareness allows you to connect with others on a more emotional level, fostering stronger relationships. In tense situations, recognizing pacifying behaviors can be a game changer. If you notice someone is becoming defensive or anxious, you can take steps to de-escalate the situation. This might involve using calming language or giving them space to express their feelings. Understanding your own pacifying behaviors is just as important. Are you someone who fidgets when nervous? By recognizing this, you can develop strategies to manage your anxiety, leading to more confident interactions. Whether at home, school, or work, being aware of pacifying behaviors can help you create a more supportive atmosphere. By fostering an environment where people feel safe to express their emotions, you encourage open communication and collaboration. So, what are some examples of those pacifying behaviors? Well, there are plenty of them, and as mentioned before, they can vary from person to person, and additionality, some people may develop unusual pacifying behaviors, so it's really hard to list every single one. However, here are some of the most common ones you will see in your daily life. Starting with the face and its surroundings, you can often observe people twirling or pulling their hair. This is a very common pacifying behavior. Additionally, any massaging gestures, such as gently massaging your neck or shoulders, are often signs of stress, though some people might instead rub their necks. Furthermore, look out for gestures around lips. Lip chewing, thumb sucking, nail biting, or even chewing on other things, for example pencils, are a dead giveaways of light anxiety or stress. Last but not least, deep breathing is another great example of a common pacifying behavior. When individuals take slow, deliberate breaths, it can help to regulate their emotions and reduce feelings of anxiety. Next, let's move to the gestures involving the hands. Here, you will most often see a person playing with something as a sign of pacifying behavior. This can involve playing with your fingers or hands, as well as playing with small objects, most commonly car keys or pen, especially when clicking the pen repeatedly. These gestures vary a lot based on person and the environment. For example, most people, when near their boss, won't play with their keys but will instead play with their fingers, as they may feel the need to appear more composed and professional. Knuckle cracking is another pacifying behavior. Though it is often done out of habit or boredom, it can provide a momentary distraction from stress. Lastly, if a person is experiencing a lot of stress or anxiety, they might start self-hugging. These hugs can be subtle and go unnoticed by others. And finally, let's discuss some gestures that involve leg movements. The most obvious one is when someone is rubbing their thighs or knees. It is very rare for someone to do this out of a habit or boredom, so this is a very good giveaway of a person feeling stressed. Another example, though not as telling, is leg bouncing. While it is a pacifying behavior, it is also oftentimes used to help pass the time, especially among teens and younger adults. Last but not least, we have rocking in a chair. Similarly to leg bouncing, it is not only a soothing mechanism, but can also indicate restlessness or impatience. It is always worth keeping it in mind when talking to another person. In this video, we talked about pacifying behaviors, which, as you should now know, are a range of actions taken to calm or soothe oneself in stressful situations. It's worth noting that they usually happen unconsciously, and that they vary from person to person, influenced by individual experiences, personality traits, and cultural backgrounds. Understanding what are pacifying behaviors gives us a range of benefits, such as enhanced empathy and increased self-awareness, to name a few. By recognizing these behaviors in ourselves and others, we can foster better communication and support in our relationships. There are plenty of different gestures that signal stress and anxiety, most commonly hair twirling, nail biting, and thigh massaging. There are many more of them, but we discussed the majority of the most common ones in the earlier chapter of this video.